even that superior. Yeah, a wee bit, but no, not worth it since our highly trained sealskin warriors need to dispatch a Livonian or two. Says we're going to attack, so we arrive on the same day. I'm not so sure about that, to be honest. I think I might meet him over in Gallon first. Might help out. Jake, can you recap the last session? Okay, so last session we got a bit too big for our own boots and decided we are a big, strong, independent, Norse, Chinese, Dutch hybrid of a nation. We're big enough to take on whatever and whoever, so we began expanding quite a lot, not really caring so much for aggressive expansion, and that is why quite a few of these Germans have coalitioned against us. We absorbed Denmark, I think that might have even happened before, and Sweden has been reduced to only owning Visby, and even that will be gone before too long. Scotland is our vassal, as is Brandenburg, and we also secured ourselves a nice warm place to be, you know, for holidays and such, down in Malta. So that's all working out pretty well for us. Pretty well, assuming we can beat back the coalition, but if all this goes well, it's really going to put the grand into grand strategy. I'm going to get my galleys on the go to keep the Livonian Order blockaded and in their place. Additionally, I need some additional pylons, that is to say, some galleys. Getting me up to 20. Is 20 enough? Maybe a bit more would be good. My general composition is 30. But 10 more might be overkill. 20 will do. For now, at least. So, our enemies are plentiful, and although it doesn't seem like a lot of red on the map, a lot of these are smaller states who can each field, you know, 7 or more thousand troops to the cause, and I think generally they have better technology than us. So whilst on paper we have many more, we have to remember quite a lot of them are the Russians, who die half-heartedly, and many of them are Spanish, and away in the New World, not providing us with any help. Jake, preemptive mercs. We have plenty of manpower and a healthy chunk of money, so I don't think I'll need any mercs. Yet. Now, I know it would be a very wise idea to get some mercs up and on the go right now so we can have quick, decisive battles, but as I have mentioned many a time, this is not Amazing Ideas Guy. This is Bad Ideas Guy. Our ideas are, you know, inte så bra, so let's just roll with what we've got. Although I'm going to roll it to... Oh, I'm going to throw my mouse about while I'm at it. I'm going to roll it ever so slightly slower. It's tempting to lift the fog of war on Bohemia with my incredible spies. I'm fabricating a claim on Poland, but perhaps there's more I could be doing. Well, I can do it if I need it. First off, I want to destroy some Livonians, because they haven't really been showing us how it's all done. And whilst it's nice having these troops up here to preemptively deal with the Swedes, I think it would be even better to get you down and lay down some swift crushing of the coalition troops. So we'll get right onto that. Will you do a Scandinavian Winter War Highlander charge on them? Ah, shoot. Tuscany has labelled us a rival. Can't wait for them to join in on this. Tuscany are well and truly the ones that are causing us a lot of grief. So here we go. Let's see just how well we can put our Livonian friends to sword. Fortunately, our sealskin warriors have fairly good defense. They can handle the heat and the firearms. There we go. Now I can't individually piece many people out because of the coalition. I can get the Papal States in Transylvania out, and I should seek to do so. But what I should also seek to do is cap myself these forts. Look at this, the numbers are really going to be piling up in Central Europe or Central Germany here. So I gotta do the best I can here. Now it's only a single fort here. Honestly, we don't need more than the 5 artillery to get us the biggest bonus. The 2 siege general would be a nice help as well, but I'm sure Livland can fall quite nicely on its own. Speaking of falling quite nicely on its own, there goes Saxony. Essentially, there goes the neighbourhood. Let's get our musketeers on the go whilst we can, since we're not in any immediate danger right now. But we should try to pick off anyone we can, any smaller units. Our morale is abysmal. Yeah, even with our advisor here, our morale is only at 4.8. That's not so good. What also isn't so good is that we very recently forced Brandenburg to become Norse. Now, whilst that is extremely badass, it severely weakens them and makes them quite likely to want to revolt against us. So let's get a marriage on the go, despite our wavering legitimacy. Can't forget that our heir is only 10 years old. But they are strong, which means I both want them in power and want my current ruler to be alive for a while. We'll keep him on the back burner in that regard. So I'm looking to squeeze out the greatest victory I can here swiftly. Well, we are a good way away from our force limit. I think throwing some mercs into the meat grinder could well be one of the better ideas that we make today. Could be a particularly good idea, in fact. I don't think I actually need two of you there. But one of you couldn't hurt. For down here, though, we'll just have them to kind of faff about. Can you see the deity of Brandenburg? I don't think I can. I suppose if I really investigated all their bonuses, I'd be able to check them out. But I'm not that invasive. So we have Bremen coming up, thinking he's a hard man. He's detached just enough for a blockade there. That's a bad idea. If ever there was one, we need to be there to crush the Livonian fleet. First goes the fleet, then goes their spirit. So Saxony's giving it the good fight. Honestly, I should get my arse down there and help them out. I see my enemies are putting more into it. They're actually rushing down there with forced march. Brandenburg's in to help out, but we have to remember Saxony is only on tech 18, whereas they're fighting people that are probably superior in that regard. Ah well, I'll take an easy battle against Transylvania if it's being offered up. As long as I can get the turn of the month's morale, because I need that after changing my unit types. I need 2 more days for that. There we go, I just need to pop these guys swiftly. I have such abhorrent morale, it is disgusting. Oh, to the point that these guys think they can join in. I mean, they're not wrong. In fact, they are very right. I should fear these guys quite a lot. Because here they are, they join in and they're just going to out-morale me. So let's just beat a hasty retreat there. And let's hope that these Russians can actually mobilize something pretty good here. That would be great. So yeah, these Europeans, they are mighty. Thankfully though, these guys managed to hold out, and thanks to the new rules, they get a morale bonus for doing so. And there we go, we were chased away by folks that were half our strength. Not the proudest day for the sealskin Chinese warriors. I already have the morale advisor, and that is part of the laugh. So what we should do is focus on the things that we can do, which is occupying the wee ones. So this guy, he's got fort level 5. That's it's going to take quite a few to bust it down, but we have quite a few. No, not you guys. That would be you guys. Have 1 siege on it as well. Because much as I have to break down their sieges, they have to break down ours. Mind you, those numbers on the artillery, it's going to take a wee while. Jake, how come your troops are so horrible? Is it just because of your tech group? It's not that our units are that bad anymore, although we are Chinese. It's just that I have not invested in any military ideas, with the minuscule exception of our noble knights. And I am not going to be championing the strength of plus 10% cavalry combat ability, even if I am fairly heavy on those cavalry. Now, even though our super soldiers are giving it their all there, we need to rely on some better help. Someone like Castile. Castile should have plenty of transports to get folks back home, 23 of them. I just have to hope that they actually act on it. Because this is a coalition war, and coalitions have this way of dragging on for a long time. Won't drag on for quite so long if Russia can pull their finger out and actually get themselves over here. But that might be wishing for too much, especially remembering that Russian troops are not so good. In fact, they're quite the opposite of good. They are half bad. My vassal's holding out really well there, makes me pretty proud of him. Unfortunately, the numbers that we're facing are rather staggering. Our numbers might look a bit better, but don't be fooled by it, especially since our tech is way behind here. Mind you, it looks like we have no fort on Hanover. He's trying to build one, but it should be my maximum priority to stop it from being built. Brunswick is part of the coalition against us. And I hope we don't have any enemies that look to attack us in our time of need here. Let's get you on that, because I want Hanover down. And since 6 artillery are giving us the bonus there, I can throw 2 of them onto Hanover to give us another two blips of advantage there. It's troubling that Munster's in this war, because Munster is large and fortified. They could also well turn around and smack us there, so we have to hope that Austria have it in them to hold out. They might, but it's possible they don't. I mean, look how badly they're getting ravaged here. And look how badly I'm leaving my diplomats to not do anything. And how those Swedes are very close to revolting, so I'm going to have to put them down as well. There's lots of different things to have to take care of here. What I should do is make sure that Castile don't think twice about fighting us. We already got good relations with... Don't want Aragon being one of those either. Thankfully, Bohemia have a few enemies, one of which is the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire do not have a truce with them and are militaristic. To add to that, they desire Bohemian lands, but they also desire Russian lands. So there's a chance they could go for either. If they go for Russia, I'm in one bad situation. If they go for Bohemia, I'm in a great situation. Depends who will be the good or bad idea in this situation. I'm gonna hope for the best and plan for the worst. Maybe we'll end up somewhere in between. Fortunately, that's a large bit of our support getting rumbled down in Austria. And I don't care about the Shetlands, they can have their autonomy. No one has ever cared much about the Shetlands, and that's why they don't care about anyone else. So here, for example, we have the Bohemians heading up north to Potsdam. Good chance they could be coming up to liberate Greater Denmark, and I wouldn't be all that surprised if they did. I would certainly try to. Did I say liberate Greater Denmark? Right, so he's going for Magdeburg. He wouldn't be strolling this far north if he didn't really want to take care of Hanover, so we'll see which way he's going. Okay, so he's heading north. He could actually be going for Saxe-Lunenburg. Both are not great for us. Lunenburg, strongly suspect he could be going for either of them. It's troublesome both ways, because my escape route is fairly cut off. Don't want him to interrupt these, but I have no choice. If he were to attack us, we would simply die. And look at that. 3-4-2-1 general. Pretty good composition. Far stronger than me. Yes, indeed. They're a terrifying force. Even if I had my entire army, there's no way I could take care of those. And that is why we are so weak in this campaign. Even just his presence is enough to make me flee from a siege that's actually going fairly well for us. So we'll see where is he going from there. Yeah, Lunenburg. Thankfully he'll be caught in our forts, so it's not that he can threaten us all that much. But he is still a threat, there is no doubt about that. It's a shame they couldn't take out our rebels over in Stockholm instead, but I can at least deal with those. So I wonder just how busy this guy's going to be. Okay, I'm more than happy for him to just head on back to his own country. Me, I gotta take care of these rebs, much as I don't want to. Jake, can you strand him on one of your islands? It is possible, but I'd have to lure him up here. It would actually be a fairly good tactic, but these forts do kind of help me out a lot. Well, do they, Rule? Do they really? Getting rid of them might not be the smartest thing in the world, but my naval superiority does lend itself some uses here. That is where we are ultimately the best. It's risky, but this war has its own risks. I'll delete those forts if it could prove to be useful in that regard. Ah, hello. It's good to see that the Castilians are getting involved here. That could save my bacon, but it also could not. I'll get you over there on Magdeburg, see if we can make any difference. And honestly, this doesn't look like the best battle I could ever fight. But we'll take it anyway. You're a terrible general, though. You're not much better, but you are better. No, facing a 9-7, 9, other way around, but bad rolls for us. Yeah, we're not going to beat them at that rate. So the battle's going a little grim to the south. Looking at the enormous numbers that they've managed to conjure up down there is more than a little scary, but at least we've cracked this one, opening us up to get some more troops across. Stockholm falling will be a bit of a loss. We'll try and get some units over there to help deal with it. Never mind the coalition, Jake's getting whipped by some Swedish rebels. It's true, our armies are terrible, and I make no excuses for that. Well, the obvious excuse is that our armies are crap. We have focused not at all on having a strong army, because that would be too close to a good idea for this abhorrent ideas guy run. Alright, so there we go. Stockholm gets some filthy amount of well, Swedes, really. What more can you say to that? Magdeburg gets attacked. This was pretty much expected, and they are likely going to die. Yeah. It's alright, they're almost only mercs. There are some cannons there that I would rather hold on to, but you can't have everything. And then again, Brandenburg showing us all how it's done. But we just lack the numbers here to really help out, so you guys should skedaddle. How are the numbers looking now, Jake? Honestly, a little more balanced out. Sadly, Saxony are medium and liable to be pieced out. And like I said about the Russians, they may come in, but they are nothing to toot your horn about. It's the Bohemians that carry the strength here. They have Tech 19 and most of the numbers. We might have Tech 19, but our troops are garbage anyway. And it is tricky being garbage. Let's go for round 2. Well, maybe not with you guys, but you guys should be okay. Yeah, hell, we'll help them out anyway. We're generous. It is kind of tempting to get these down and try to trap some troops on our side, but we go. At least we got Stockholm taken care of. I don't care too much about them occupying that province, because that's something we can deal with later. Or I could just send my mercs there to take care of it. That's another option. Get it under blockade as well. Okay, so at least we have some more people to throw into the meat grinder at this point. Okay, so the Ottomans just declared war on Transylvania. That's going to help us out a lot since that puts them at war with Bohemia. The Ottomans are also lacking in tech, but what they lack in tech they make up in Arabia, so... That's the thing, the worse the ideas you have, the better your luck. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Sadly, the Saxons invested in some fairly good ideas, so their luck was a little running out there. Hey, well, if the Russians can get there in time, I'll be more than happy to back them up. Astonishingly, they did not, but I'm feeling good about this battle. The ones that are a little more beaten up, I'll let them hold off. But I will help our good friends. Oh, jeez, we're getting minced anyway. Kill them to death, lads. They deserve nothing less. Unfortunately, I wish I'd liberated Netz because Brandenburg was trying to convert it to... they're not Prussian, are they? They're Saxon, which would have been awesome, but it didn't work out for them. So maybe we can finally lay a loss on the enemy, which is grand. I'm gonna have to actually take care of my manpower since this, like I said, I have some grand strategy involved in this. Difference between regular old strategy and grand strategy. I mean, it would be pretty good if I were to liberate Austria, because I don't want them piecing out of all of this. But for me to attack that Bohemian stack, I just don't have what it takes right now. Heck, I don't have what it takes to do many things. Maybe we can focus on, you know, getting a couple of these guys sieged up. We took care of the Livonian Order nice and early, but it's never that easy, is it? We're hemorrhaging money already. That's all just part of it. Look at these guys coming in, probably wanting to kill us in Hanover. Couldn't blame them, mind, we are far weaker than them. But we now have the Russians on our side. Castilians, I can't see them, but I'm sure they're there. Wish I could see them, but I am so close to blind, it's just not happening. They're actually kind of far away there, and if I could get to them fast enough, I might be able to wipe that pathetic army. Maybe. At the very least, I'll stop them from reinforcing with men and manpower, men and morale. Alternatively, get their artillery on the front line and give it some extreme beatings. Yeah, that's not going to happen. They got forts blocking me off here. But we'll do what we can. Oh, that I don't like, though. Jeez, he's the one doing what he can. He'll be there on the 28th, and there's no escape for me. Just gonna have to take it and run. Of course, these are Bohemians we're talking about. They could deliver one hell of a beating to us. Yikes. What was I just saying about minding my manpower? So he's on his way into Hamburg, which is probably not going to stay there. I wonder then. This is risky, this is super risky, but let's say goodbye to those forts for now. Miss you already, Hamburg. Province of provinces. Feels like there's just such a undisciplined march of people coming through. And to think I torched my own province's fortification to come here. Okay, no, he really means business. He wants to seek and destroy us. Even with a 2.9 stack. What a brute. So there we go, at least we got Stockholm back. Now, piecing out with the coalition is never very easy. You have to mount up quite a bit of war score and especially pound down the leader. Pounding down Bohemia is going to be troublesome. Especially the Ottomans make some kind of swift peace here. It's also important that my friends stay very enthusiastic about the war. Russia is not enthusiastic about this war, probably because they've been slapped out. But it's good to see Castile have some numbers in. They could maybe help us out with their, again, inferior technology. This is worrisome though. The Ottomans themselves are going to get slapped down by the Bohemians. That's just scary, that is. There's a lot of scary things about this war. We just got to be ready for it. No, I know what you might be thinking, Xenon, there, but we are not at war with all of the electors. So this is not an opportunity to dismantle the Empire. Trust me, if it was, I'd be taking it. And you know I'd be taking it. Oh, right, those are not numbers in our favor. Not at all. Let's hang back on that. It feels so strange to be playing with such an incredibly inferior fighting force. The Pope is in this war, right? Where in the world is the Pope? Because I can get him out individually. He's just over in Pfalz. He also has inferior technology. We would just have to stroll on in and cap him, but it's never that easy. Not for my pathetic guys. Poor Saxony, though, there's a good chance he's just going to peace out when all is said and done from this. Makes it too much of a good idea to have your derpy allies attached to you, potentially. Don't really care about Cree, to be honest. I care about me. And crushing Saxe-Luxembourg. There we go, at least we got Hanover down, so that's one fort in our control. Like I said, we have the -30 towards peace because of a coalition war here, so if they were to get their own way, release Pomerania and Lubeck and pay loads of money, let me just tell you how much that isn't going to happen, no matter what. Still, they've managed to beat back the Ottomans a few times. Well, at most 2, but still. I should really be down there reinforcing the big guys. But it's scary. Okay, well at least Castile is down there with all their might. And the least I can do is help them out. I should do my best to help Saxony though. Without the ongoing battles, they're probably just destined to get out of this war, so I should save their capital, even though this is going to be horrifically bad for my troops. Look at those losses. We actually need the Castilians to come in and save us from ourselves. There we go. Thank you, Castile. But, you know, what we did had to be done. We should make a move on Prague. To the point where we should move every cannon we have onto Prague. The rest of you can hold out in Ers as something of a backup, because at least if we score... Oh, shoot, look at them here now. Prague is farmlands, Ers is farmlands. Can't escape them, but we can give them a river cross. Oh well. Let's have it. Hopefully the Castilians will come and back us up in a jiffy. They're force marching their way here, so I'm sure they'll help us out. But the losses for me. Almost tapped my manpower here. At least we gave them something to cry about. Cap Ers, make our move on Prague, and that weakness should be the chink in the armor that the Ottomans need to come in and give them some Turkish justice. That's the hope, at least. And I'm running on hope here. And this, to me, is why it's still such an interesting campaign.